When the outdated tactics get left behind, it's time we stop. Marketers look around when your ranking's going down. It's the Jim and Ann Show. I'm Jim.
This is Ann.
Okay, here we go. Ann, I don't know if you heard the news today, but Google released its algorithm to the public. They said, here is our entire algorithm. It's about 1,000 pages and it shows everything. Can you believe that?
Nope.
Yeah, it's not true. It's not true. But let's pretend that they did. Okay. If they said, here is our algorithm, it's open to the public, or maybe there's some court case that says, Google, you must release that algorithm, and it's leaked to the public. It's kind of an interesting thing because people often think that there's so many secrets. And I think if Google released the algorithm, everyone would be like, yeah, we've known all of these different pieces. We know, good content, user experience, backlinks, speed, whatever, all the different parts of the algorithm and how they're trying to map things and determine things. I don't think there's anything in there that's going to be like, give anyone an edge where they're like, or let's say that, an ex-employee ran off of the algorithm, because there are lots of Google ex-employees that, worked in departments where they know a lot of how the algorithm runs. And there's ex-Google employees that, have done that. And now either they're building their own sites or they're running SEO companies, and let's kind of pretend that one of them, walked out with a confidential book of the algorithm. And it's like, it's really not going to give them any great insight or advantage, because even if you have the book, which we already kind of know, you can read any, what are all the SEO factors and look at all those. Even if you were handed the confidential book, it's still, there's not like a magic formula you can like tweak and have X ratio of keywords on each page and suddenly you're number one. It still comes down to, okay, what are you gonna do about it? How are you going to create all this? And I think that, the algorithm, and there was something I read the other day about, Google's algorithm and secrets or something with it. And it's like, I don't think there's really much for secrets in there. We pretty much know everything that they're trying to do.
Also, I think one interesting thing to keep in mind here is that in many cases, when someone is asking Danny or John about anything, they are like always think like, I don't think there is anything about that, any signal like that. I don't think they're very confident themselves at this point. This algorithm is how many years old now? I'm pretty sure it's a mess. Like all those people working, changing, their hidden.
I picture if it was like some computer or something, you could open up a box and you would see a million wires going around. And someone would be like, why did someone connect this wire here?
Exactly.
What if you pull it or connect another end? What does it look like?
It's not like any programmer would go in there and clean it up at this point. It's such massive, and they're pretty sure, okay, let's pull this, let's add this. We forgot that we didn't remove that. So I'm pretty sure there's a lot of going on there to the point when even Googlers are not that sure how they would interpret that, or if there is a signal like that, and how much weight it also carries each of those signals. So it's all the combination of different stuff working together. It's not easy, even if we had the freaking algorithm, what would we do with it? I'm sure
it's still going to come down to, all right, even knowing that Google's not perfect and, your rankings are never going to be like this. I guess there's the first thing. Even if you have the perfect site, your rankings are never going to be like, yay, they're going to just like life kind of. But I guess, if you say, all right, even if you had, the book of Google's algorithm on your desk, it's still going to be, all right, how do I create a great site? How do I get attention to this great site? How do I provide what all the users are looking for? How do I have a technically optimized site? There's no, even if you have the book next to you of the secret algorithm, I don't think there's any way that, you're really going to have an advantage. It's really, the person who's going to win the most. And yeah, you got to assume that, Google's not perfect and all that, but if you do nothing but, or if every single day you do something to make your site better, and you're constantly making the site better and trying to get a better user experience and to serve the user better, then in theory, you're going to be on top, more of the time than you're going to be on bottom. I think there's a lot of sites, I was thinking about, there's a lot of sites that they haven't updated their site in years. They got their e-commerce site. And if you said, when's the last time you added anything to your website, they'd be like, oh, a couple of years ago. Or they're like, oh, we got a blog and, we got, someone writing about stuff that no one cares about over here that really doesn't serve the users, but our bloggers are having fun or whatever. It's like, no. So, yeah, I think even if people
saying there is no secret source, so we could just cancel everything we're doing and add that little thing on our page and we will be on top forever.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny. There was a poll. This is what reminded me of it, where someone said, if all SEOs had the algorithm, would it make results better or worse? And I think like 400 SEOs filled out the poll, and I think so like 78 or 80% said it would make the results worse. And it's like, well, doesn't everyone kind of already know the algorithm? Would it make it worse because people would be like, oh, links are really important? Like maybe that the spammers are going to come out more because I don't know why people would think it would be worse. And I don't think there's a lot of people think there's some secret algorithm. I mean, I remember going to the Googleplex during, the parties back in the old days, and I'd go in there with a camera and look, and I'd look for whiteboards with mathematical formulas on them, and take pictures and zoom them up later, and what is this saying? Does this mean page ranks divided by whatever equals this? It was probably just the Googlers messing with us. I know it was, but it was still fun to think maybe that is a real algorithm of something. But yeah, I guess even if you have the algorithm, it's not going to help you anymore. It's, how do you continue to make your site better? And
I mean, maybe 10, 15 years ago when there was a secret keyword density number or something like that, that would be maybe at that point would have been helpful. But I don't think there is anything that straightforward anymore.
Yeah. It's kind of, what is it you can do with the knowledge? If you knew even the algorithm, there's only so much that you can do as a human or with your team. And it's all going to be, how do you create all that? How do you create such wonderful content? How do you serve the user? How do you get other people to reference your website? It's not just the knowledge, it's what you do with it.
And we already have the knowledge. We know what the key signals are.
Yeah.
Is how to do all of that and how fast you can move, because you can create one article for 1 year and create something really great, and that's it. But no one would still see that because you still have to get backlinks to it and stuff. It's hard work.
I remember talking with one of the clients and talking about his competitors, and the client thought that, we got into a little bit of a disagreement because the client thought his site was awesome. And I'm like, compared to your competitors, it's not. Have you really looked at your competitors and all the resources that they have compared to you? And, I think people as well, they get in their own bubble of their own site and they're like, my site is perfect. And it's like, have you looked at what everyone else has as well? Or...
And it's funny, I remember we had that one client who was always looking for that secret source that was holding him back.
Why am I not number one today?
Yep, and he's like, I don't get it. What's the secret, Jim?
Yeah, I think we got on I remember that we got on the phone and it was like, we have one question for you. It's like, and they wanted that one point, like, go in and add this phrase one more time and you're all set. Like, that's kind of what they thought.
Add a sitemap and everything will be solved like magic.
Yeah. Just add this word to your title tag and you're good to go.
I remember those, and he was so confident that there is something like little thing he was missing. And
yeah. It says, oh wait, page 323 of the book. It just tells me I got it. No one else knows. All right. Well, thank you all for watching the link bait piece of Google gave away their algorithm today. I would click on that. Google released its algorithm. Of course, in the back of my eye, of course, I'd still read it. But I'd be like, all right, yeah, I do this. I thought so. Oh, really? I thought that was BS. Oh, no kidding. John really was right about that. John had a funny quote the other day. It was something about, Google denied some piece of their algorithm. And so people were like, Google denied it, so it must be true. I can see John laughing. Yeah, all I have to do if I want people to think I'm lying or whatever is it's not part of the algorithm, deny it, and they'll assume. But yeah. Look around when you're